Hey guys, how's it going? So, one that had a little bit of a talk, a little bit of a conversation. I was thinking about putting ambient music or something. It didn't feel like this time. Wasn't feeling it. But I want to talk about something that's somewhat distressing to see. A lot of the schizoids that I talk to and work with communicate with me via comments or um, on the Discord server. By the way, join the Zoid Void if you think yourself schizoid like legitimately and have dealt with it for a long time, or you're diagnosed, please check out the Zoid Void on Discord. Link should be in the description, unless I'm stupid, which sometimes I am. In any case, wanted to talk about something that's been bugging me that schizoids often do, and honestly, it isn't their fault. It isn't like blaming any of them for it. God knows I did nothing, but it's the depreciation of their skill set, of what they're capable of, what they're good at. It's something I see all the time. Now, the very community that I've helped structure and build, along with the help of some really awesome people that would probably prefer not to be named half the time anyway. Um, I've seen so many talented people, so many talented people, artists, writers, thinking poetry, short stories, artists of so many different kinds, and not just like on my server, but just in general on Schizoid Reddit, just in different places, or just email to me, or DM to me on Facebook or something, Twitter, whatever. And one ongoing theme is anytime you obviously say this is good work, I get the whole like being kind of mostly indifferent to praise or criticism. It's one of the DSM criteria. That makes sense. But it doesn't say why we're indifferent, right? And now the answer to that's a whole another video, which I'm not going to go into right now. But my point is, a lot of schizoids fail to recognize their potential, even the kind that they've reached, their competency, their talent. And I get it, because any talent or skill I possessed, I constantly paraded as mediocre, subpar, or minimal. I'm learning to work on that myself, and I think I've gotten better. And I think I have a better, stronger understanding of what it is I'm good at, and I can admit it to myself. But there are many schizoids I talk to that still can't do that, and it's disheartening. Because if there's anything I know, is that even though a lot of schizoids are really bad at gauging their own competency and talent, oftentimes, or they deprecate it, self deprecate, they're really good at spotting interesting, talented, skillful, and competent things outside of themselves. Very good at spotting it. Plenty of schizoid will sit there and talk to you about why this or that is so great, and why this piece of art, or this film, or this book, or this research, or this whatever your special interest may lie within. Why it's so great, why it's so talented, why the people who did it were very eloquent in what they said, and intelligent. So much praise and criticism. That's what's interesting. The schizoid is very good at praise and criticism. It's not receiving. And it's not that they're bad at taking criticism, they just don't care half the time. They also don't care about compliments of their worth or their capabilities. And I get it, because oftentimes the thing that's being concentrated on isn't exactly what you even find to be any worth. But even in things that you give worth to, compliments within those fields are difficult. You either believe they don't come from a place of sincerity, or you yourself do not believe anything positive being placed forward regarding any of your capabilities. And it's just, like I said, it's amusing because if you ask a lot of schizoids, is this person talented? They would say absolutely. And even if they produce something of similar quality or did something of similar quality, if I were to ask them the same, they would tell me it's mediocre at best. It's just something, I guess. I guess I'm okay at. I don't know. It's not to some internal standard, right? Now, I'm not going to tell you what your internal standard of your own work abilities, whatever they are, in whatever field of interest or whatever it is. I don't care if it's playing a certain video game in speed runs or, sculpting or, data mining or something. The manner in which others will perceive your competency, remember, it's oftentimes going to differ very greatly than the manner in which you will often perceive your own. So, though many schizoids are very good judge of parameter, situational things, a lot of the things in the outside or the external world outside of this inner world often is constantly being analyzed or thought about or contemplated. And it depends on what we're talking about, right? It could be anything from knitting to, I don't know, philosophy to manga. Doesn't matter. It's always the gears. The gears are always running to some degree when, disassociation or anhedonia isn't fully kicking off, at least. But nonetheless, those gears can never be pointed toward the self very well. Now you can use it to figure out what hurts, what doesn't make sense, what you don't like, what you do like, harder what you do like. There's plenty to find what you don't like. But actually being a pretty good judge of your own character is something a lot of schizoids struggle with. Because they tend to be a pretty good judge of character in a lot of other instances. Not always. We definitely have certain things that can gunk up our radar, which I won't get into right now. But nonetheless, what I'm trying to simply put forward here is do not trust your own instincts when it comes to yourself and the quality of your work as being the final decision maker as to what that quality is. Always remember there's a possibility that the standard you place upon yourself is far more harsh than it needs to be. And also, your version of yourself may oftentimes be distorted enough to associate any quality things you may produce in your life as being lesser than, not good enough, not competent enough, disappointing. Not necessarily disappointing to someone in particular, just disappointing as an idea. Just because it came from you. You need to work on that. Seriously. Because I know I have. And it's hard. But it's doable. So get that oh so selective, artistic, objective lens of analysis so you oftentimes like to put upon many things in the world. Put it on yourself. You'll find that you're not as bad, and the things you do aren't as bad as you oftentimes may think they are. You're doing okay sometimes. Some of what you do is good. That's good enough. Tried your best. And if you're not trying your best, you probably still are. All things considered. All right. That's all for today. I'm going to try to upload things like this once in a while. I feel like something more of a pep talk or something like that. Basically sharing some of the ideas and concepts that have helped me develop progress, significant progress in my own personality disorder. That might be able to help some of you that are still struggling at the very bottom or at the very beginning of those steps. I started late. Hopefully many of you can start a lot earlier. Have whatever kind of day you want to have. Bye.